Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. We're making good progress in the animal world, to be honest. I feel like I'm very close to the end. Obviously not. I've had many assists from a nice hint guide. And sometimes more than hints, because some of it is very difficult to stumble upon and explore, I must say. But I'm having a good time. We're on the final layer, I think, of puzzles. Maybe. I'm not actually sure if that's right, but we'll see. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:37 PM on Thursday, June 26, 2025. Yeah, we're sort of chilling. I'm going to be doing some more drawing after this. The new Pokemon TCG Pocket set came out. Which is very exciting. I've got mostly the things I wanted. Like I got very lucky. I somehow got both an immersive Eevee, not Eevee. I haven't got the immersive Eevee. I got the full art for both Sylveon and Flareon. And I've got quite a bit of evolutions from that and the Wonder Trades. I believe full arts is. I believe the full arts are missing are Vaporeon, Flareon and Sylveon's 3-star version, no, 1-star versions. I haven't got the immersive Eevee. I do really want the immersive Eevee. July 4th. Oh yeah, July 4th, of course. Apollo's birthday. Also known as Independence Day in America. So I'm having a good time with that. Love me the evolutions, as most people do. If prismatic evolutions is anything to go by. Evolution's absolute cash cow, I think, for Nintendo. Or Game Freak. Or both, I guess. Which shocks me that they still haven't made another evolution at this point. Like, I think they made a right call making Sylveon and slowing down the releases of evolutions, but it's been like 3 generations now, right? And there's not been another Eevee evolution. A real shame, if you ask me, because I think they're really, really quite a fun concept. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. I'm not really sure what we are here to talk about, to be honest. What I'm considering doing after this, after recording Animal Crossing, is going down and making some instant noodles. And you might be like, whoa, dear darling, are you going around snacking? That seems unlike you. And the answer is, it is unlike me. But the reason I'm doing so is because it's the Boldak, like, spicy noodles. Which, 2 of my friends whose spice tolerance is, I think, is probably, for British people, higher than average, maybe. That might not be true, well, okay, one of them is probably higher than the British average, and the other one's probably about the British average, maybe. But let's not say that they aren't particularly brave, I think, surprisingly, when it comes to spicy food. Or at least willing to give things a bit of a nibble. Have bought, I can't remember even where we were, but we bought a load of Boldak noodles, like the spicy ones. That I know there's multiple layers, but they bought the ×1 version, the black noodles. And they basically were like, we're going to eat this every single day to train our spice tolerance or whatever. So then we'll get like used to it. And I was like, oh, I've never actually tried these before. I guess I'll buy a pack as well, just to kind of see what they're like. But I've not yet eaten it, and they've done their week, I think, of eating the spicy noodles. I don't know if they did it every day, but I know they did it once, and it was like, this was terrible. And the second time, somehow they both like finished it off, as I understand it, and it was like, whoa. But I think we both were like, let's not do this for an entire week. Like, this is too much. But I am very curious of what it will be like for me trying them, because my spice tolerance is reasonably high. I'm not here to be like, I can eat like the spiciest things on earth and feel no sweat. It's just higher than the UK average, I would say. Like, can you, like, what is the sort of yardstick? I can comfortably eat very hot Nando's. I can comfortably eat a very, very hot Nando's, or Vesuvio, or whatever the super hot one came out. That's not spicy for me. But I will still, if something is extremely spicy, I will still like, sweat and stuff. Like, I think the way my friend put it is probably best is that, I still have a physical reaction to a spice, but you know, I don't have like the mental reaction to it. So like it doesn't clock in my head as spicy, or I mean it does clock in my head as spicy, but it doesn't clock into my head as proportionally spicy as it should be, I think. So yeah, I mean the only things I hear about these boiled egg noodles is that they're insanely spicy. But I don't know. Like I did like try and look them up, like what the Scoville like rating was. The Scoville unit rating is like super low for the boiled egg noodles comparatively, and I'm like, that can't be right. And then I read some more things that it's about like because it's done per unit or something, so that's actually like the entire bowl like averaged out or something, so it's actually significantly spicier. I don't know what to think. My friend is of the opinion though that I will be fine for it, and I'm of the opinion as well that I will be fine to eat it. I did also pick up a pack of the super spicy, but the 2 times spicy ones as well. That I think I would actually probably find quite spicy. Because I even looked up like some people eating it online and just being like, what are people's like reactions to it? Which might be like a bit much because I could just eat it, but most of the time I'm not really like hungry for noodles, but I'm like, I've got to eat it at some point, and my friend will absolutely want to know. So I'll probably just be like, you know, I'll start making it and be like, it's time to try it. I mean, it's literally like a bowl of instant noodles, and you know, I'm not particularly hungry, but I'm not like stuffed. You know, like sometimes after dinner I'll just be like, oh, you know, that's too much food, and I would be like, I'll consider eating the spicy noodles or something, but I'm like, I'm actually just like full. So there's no room in my stomach to do that. But today I think is a good day because it's like I'm not hungry, but I definitely could eat a snack. But it's just I'm not very conditioned to eat snacks, I think, in the first place. Like, never does it really cross my mind, or I'm like, oh yeah, let's just sort of like nibble on a midnight snack or something. I remember the first time a friend like introduced me, not to the concept of midnight snacking. Like, I was aware it's a thing from like cartoons and TV shows and stuff, but I wasn't aware it was the actual legit thing that people did. But I remember he was sleeping over. This is actually one of the people who did the spicy noodle thing. And we were talking about midnight snacks, and then like we were playing games or something, and he was like, oh, you know, I could go for like a snack right now, and I'm like, what? And then, you know, we had a conversation. It was like, oh, you actually legit want to eat something right now? I'm like, okay, I don't know what you could eat right now, because I was like, the things we have are like full-on meals. So I was like, maybe like the smallest full-on meal we have is like a microwave pizza, like Chicago Town ones, and that's what he had. Sorry, pause there. But yeah, like midnight snacking, I'm not going to say it's like an outrageous concept to me. Like, I can understand the concept, and it's obviously not for me because I don't really snack that much. Like, the times I do snack tend to be more out of, I would say, malaise rather than hunger, I think. More than anything. Not to say that I don't get hungry, that's just wrong, but I don't get that hungry between meals as it seems as often as some other people might do. So it doesn't really cross my mind too much to be like, you know, I'm just going to sort of snack on something. Which is why I think it takes me so long to get through like things like Easter chocolates, etc. Or Christmas chocolates. Like they stay uneaten for ages until I'm just like, okay, let's actually start eating them. But then I start eating them, I'm like, I'm only eating them for the sake of eating it. I'm not actually eating because I want to eat it as much. Which seems a bit pointless in my mind, but what do I know? Yeah, but eating a snack at midnight feels a bit crazy. But you know, I'm going to join the elite, the Midnight Snackers Society. I'm going to give it a go. Because I'm like, when else am I possibly going to eat it, like at a reasonable time? And the answer is, there really isn't much of a reasonable time, I think, to snack. You just kind of just do it, right? You just kind of start like numbing ways, start eating, just having been like, oh, you know, I'm feeling a bit peckish or something. So if I don't do it, basically the long and short is, if I don't do it now, I feel like I'm never going to do it. Which seems like a bit of a shame. Because I'm just like, what's the point otherwise of me purchasing these super spicy noodles? And you might be like, that seems like a bit of a weird motivation. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I don't really have a defense for that. You are just absolutely right that I'm just like, there really isn't a good motivation apart from just curiosity of trying it. I might even try it and just be like, whoa, this is too spicy, I'm gonna throw this all away. I can't imagine that would be the case. I think I owe it to my friends to at least eat it through to the end and give my honest review of how spicy I felt it. And I see this going in two ways. One, and the most probably proper way, is I'll eat it and be like, oh yeah, this is actually like kind of spicy. Not spicy enough where I'm like, this is intolerable, and not spicy enough, and not spicy enough where I'm like, I can't feel this. I'm like aware of it, but it's just like, I've hyped it up too much in my mind. I'm like, it's not as spicy as I thought it was going to be. I guess there's actually three ways. Option two was I eat it and I'm like, this is the spiciest thing ever. I cannot even imagine how hot the double spice is. And then I stand in awe of my friends who somehow finished off a bowl. But that seems a bit less likely to me because I definitely do have a higher spice tolerance than my friends. So it would certainly surprise me if they could finish it, and then somehow I felt like I couldn't. Unless, I don't know, maybe I have like an allergic reaction to it. Kind of like when people say like, oh, you know, I don't like apples, they're too spicy. And I'm like, apples aren't spicy. It's like, wait a minute, am I allergic to apples? The answer is, maybe. If you find apples spicy, that is. So yeah. What's the other option? And the other options, I eat it and I'm like, oh, this is like not in the slightest bit spicy. In which case I'm just like, I don't really know what to do at that point. This is kind of it just kind of is what it is, right? So I guess we'll just have to see. But yeah, I don't know. I think in general, midnight snacks, it feels almost a bit strange. Like, I don't I think the answer's obvious, but I'm just saying it from like a perspective of which it doesn't apply to. So that's why it feels so weird. But it's not like, how does it like come about where it's like, oh, you know, I just want to have a midnight snack now? And the obvious answer is it becomes midnight and you're just hungry, right? I don't see like that feels like the most obvious answer. And at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you know, what's that like? I think even if I was hungry at midnight or something, or close to midnight, I wouldn't be like, it's the time to snack. I would probably just be like, I'll just wait till breakfast tomorrow, and then I'll just go to sleep and I'll just stop being hungry or something. So it's going to be weird, if anything. I'm going against that initiative here. I'm going against that vibe and being like, it's time. And I don't know if it's a good idea to do it necessarily just before bed, but, you know, whatever. It's literally instant noodles. Who cares? It takes like 5 minutes to make. It's basically as quick as probably just, you know, cutting up an apple. Well, that's not true actually. I probably can definitely cut an apple faster than I can cook instant noodles, but still. But what about washing and cutting up an apple? Yeah, still probably a lot faster, but still. Yeah. I don't really know where I was going with this. Anyway, but long and short of it is midnight snacks. What a interesting concept. Wide, wacky, wonderful. And not at all exactly what I imagine. Well, maybe that's not true. Not at all exactly something I do all that often. It feels weird to be like, I'm inexperienced with midnight snacking. Please teach me how to midnight snack. How does one midnight snack? The answer to that question is unknown. Yeah. So, I guess we'll just see. I don't know. I'm always brought back to that the day of introduction of midnight snacking and just watching, because we made like a microwave pizza, like they're obviously very easy to make. It's literally just a small pizza you stick on a plate and put in the microwave, and I have a very nostalgic vibe with them and eating them. But I remember just sort of sitting there, just like watching my friend eat a midnight snack and being like, alright, what do I do now? I don't know. I'm just sort of sitting there being like, watching my friend literally eat a mini pizza. And so, something in my mind was just like, is that it? Is like this it? Is all that midnight snacking is? I guess. Like, I don't know what I expected. I feel like because it's portrayed as like, oh, it's so sneaky or whatever in media. Like, look at this, you're going against grain. Here you are being very... doing something you shouldn't, just like having a bit of a snack outside of mealtime. But really, I don't know if anything is anticlimactic, you know? Just like, it literally just is eating, I mean, you just eat and you're like, oh, okay, well, sure, I guess. Maybe I'm kind of coming at it from the wrong angle, and I probably am, but even still, it's just sort of like, what else do I do? And literally, it's just eating food. Why am I making it so complicated? There is no reason to make it so complicated. Anywho, I guess I'll round this episode off here. I mean, I'm gonna go eat the super spicy noodles, and I'll let you know how it is. So, for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.